you need experience to get an apprenticeship in HVAC. That is the biggest lie I hear people say all the time. It's actually easier to break into HVAC right now than ever before. Nowadays, HVAC companies are looking less at formal education and more at the fundamentals. I would know this because I've done the research and I work in the field myself. I went from running a marketing agency to now working as an HVAC tech, and I got started with literally no HVAC experience, just the right foundation. It's safe to say I know what it takes to get an HVAC apprenticeship with zero experience. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do just that. We're talking about the best approach to position yourself as a beginner, the exact skills employers actually care about, and the modern apprenticeship hunting methods that actually work. This is the same blueprint that's helping people go from zero HVAC experience to $60,000 in their first year. So if you're ready to break into HVAC without any experience, stick around until the very end, and I'll give you the exact outreach strategy you need to land interviews with little to no competition. So here's the first massive mistake I see people make when trying to break into HVAC. They think they need to show up with skills, like they need to know how to brace copper or diagnose a back compressor before anyone will ever look at them. Actually, that's not how it works. Here's what's actually happening when an HVAC company is interviewing apprentices. They're not looking for someone who already knows the trade. If you already knew it, you wouldn't be an apprentice, right? What they're actually screening for is this. Are you going to quit in 2 weeks? Are you going to show up late every day? Are you going to argue with me when I'm trying to teach you something? Can you follow basic instructions without making everything complicated? That's it. They want someone who's coachable, reliable, and not going to waste their time. If you don't waste a business owner's time, you're going to be a great asset. I got my first HVAC gig because one of my marketing clients saw how I ran my business and how I showed up to meetings on time. I did what I said I was going to do, and I also delivered results for his company. He didn't care that I never touched an AC unit in my life. And to be honest, I was not handy at all. He cared that I had work ethic and I could be trained. So here's how you actually position yourself when you're reaching out to companies or sitting in on interviews. You say something along the lines like, I'm handy, I show up on time, or I'm flexible and I want to learn this trade long term. That's the message. Then you back it up with proof from your life. Did you work retail and never call out sick? Say that. Did you stick with a side hustle for 2 years even when it sucked? Say that. Do you mess around with tools at home? Fix your own car? Build stuff in your garage? Are you actually handy? Say that. Employers hire attitude first, skills second. So if you got a great attitude, you'll definitely make it in HVAC. They can teach you HVAC. They can't teach you to care. Most people either oversell their fake skills they don't have, or they undersell themselves and act like they're too inexperienced even to try. You're gonna do neither. You're gonna be honest and show them you're a low risk investment of their time. That's what gets you in the door. That shift alone will get you way more interviews than most people ever see. But here's where everyone screws up. They take that attitude and they go apply on Indeed with 500 other people. That's a terrible move. Let me show you the shortcut that actually works. All right, so this is the most important thing you're gonna do in your entire apprenticeship search. I am dead serious. If you do nothing else from this video, do this. You're gonna reach out to 30 to 50 local HVAC companies in your area. Yes, that's a lot, but you want a job, don't you? Not through Indeed, not through LinkedIn, you're calling them, emailing them yourself. Here's why this works. Most HVAC companies are small. We're talking 5 to 15 people. The owner is usually running the business, maybe even doing installs, managing the jobs, and trying to keep everything from falling apart. They don't have time to post a job listing on Indeed, filter through hundreds of applications, and schedule interviews. A lot of these companies, believe it or not, they don't even have an HR person. It's just the owner and his crew. Think small business, right? How do they hire? A lot of times, they're hiring word of mouth. Someone they know recommends someone, or someone calls them directly and asks if they're hiring. When you call, you are the job opening. They weren't thinking about hiring until you reminded them they're stretched thin and they could use another body. That is how I've seen it work over and over and over and over again. The people who get hired fast aren't the ones with the best resumes. They're the ones who called 40 companies while everyone else applied to just 5 job listings online. Here's exactly what you can do to stand out and increase your chances of getting a job in HVAC. You open up Google, you type in HVAC companies near me or HVAC contractors plus your city. You're gonna wanna make a spreadsheet. You're gonna have the company name, the company phone number, the company email. If you can, also add the address. Then you're gonna build a list of 30 to 50 companies within a 20-mile radius of where you live. This will take you maybe 2 to 4 hours. Do it in one sitting. Don't spread it out over a week because you'll end up not following through and you'll be in the same position you're currently at right now. Once you've got your list, you're gonna go reach out to every single one. If you're calling, here's what I would say. Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm looking to start in HVAC as an apprentice or helper. I'm handy, I'm reliable, and I'm ready to learn. Are you guys hiring or do you know anyone who is? That's it. Short, direct, no rambling. And if you're emailing, you say the same thing, and you just want to make sure you keep it 3 to 4 sentences max. Introduce yourself. Say you're looking for an apprenticeship, mention you're coachable and ready to work, and ask if they're hiring or if they can point you in the right direction. Trust me, do not write a cover letter. Don't attach a resume unless they ask. Just get the conversation started. That is your only goal. You're just getting your foot in the door. Now, here's what's going to happen. Out of 50 companies, maybe 10 won't even answer. Maybe 20 will say no, and they're gonna say that they're not hiring right now, but 5 to 10 of them are gonna say, hey, actually, come in for an interview, or we might have something soon, send me your info. That's all you need to do. You only need one yes. So, if you are confident that you can get one yes, here's the thing that nobody is gonna tell you. Even the companies that might say no right now, they're gonna remember you because you're one of the only people that reached out to them. One of their guys quits. They're going to call you back because you're the only person who reached out directly to them in the last month. I've seen this happen many times with people I personally know and owners I personally know. People think that no's are failures. They're not. They're future opportunities. This works so well because you're going where nobody else is going. Everyone else is fighting over the same 5 jobs posted online like Indeed and LinkedIn. But you're tapping into a hidden market, a market that no one ever goes through. The jobs that never get posted, the companies that are too busy to advertise but would absolutely hire someone if a person just walked in through the door. So that's what you're going to do. You reach out to 50 places, one of them is going to stick, I promise you. So now you've got the right mindset and you're reaching out to a ton of companies directly. Let's be honest. That's already miles ahead of what most people are doing because most people are just sitting on their computer applying on Indeed. But here's where you can add rocket fuel to this whole process. Most people have no clue this option even exists. And this option alone is what accelerates you going from 0 to 60K a year in HVAC. So I didn't go through Course Careers to get my job, but I've looked at the HVAC course and honestly, I think it's a really solid entry point for people who want to get into the trade without wasting time or money. I'm gonna be honest with you, there are multiple ways to get into the trade, but trade school takes 1 to 2 years and it costs anywhere from $5,000 a year to $20,000 a year. You're sitting in a classroom learning theory, doing some hands-on stuff, but you're not getting paid. You're actually paying them. And yeah, you'll learn a lot, but you're also delaying the part where you're actually earning money in the field. Don't you want to start at $60,000 a year? For some people, that's fine. But if you're trying to start your career as fast as possible and you don't want to take on a bunch of debt, trade school is not the move. Trust me, I've heard a lot of horror stories. Course Careers is the opposite of that. It's $499 one time, no monthly subscriptions, no hidden fees, and you can finish it in 1 to 2 months if you're actually putting in the time and it teaches you all the fundamentals of HVAC online. Here's the cool thing that Course Careers goes over. We're talking safety, tools, system types, refrigeration cycles, electrical basics, ductwork, all the stuff you need to know to walk into an interview and not sound like you just learned what HVAC stands for yesterday. You want to make sure you impress the people that are interviewing you. Here's what I like about it. You're getting the same foundational knowledge you get in trade school, but you're doing it way faster and way cheaper. And the best part is you're not stuck in a classroom. You're learning on your own schedule. So if you have a job and you want to get into HVAC, this is perfect for you. You can knock out lessons after work, on the weekends, whenever. Then, as soon as you finish, you start applying. You're not waiting 2 years to enter the workforce. You're entering in 2 months. 2 months, 24 months? What would you prefer? And look, I'm going to be real with you. You don't need a course to get hired in HVAC. I didn't take one. I got hired because my client wanted to train me and he wanted to get me in the HVAC field because I had a good work ethic. But here's the difference. When you walk into an interview having done course careers and you can actually talk about refrigeration cycles and you could talk about the difference between a heat pump and a furnace and you know what a metering device does and you just overall understand refrigeration more than most applicants, the interviewer is going to be way more confident in hiring you because you're not starting from absolute zero. You're starting from, I already know the theory, I just need hands-on practice. That is huge. Let me tell you that because a lot of guys applying don't know nothing, nada, zilch. This is a huge advantage because most apprentices showing up, they don't know anything. If you show up knowing something, like going through course careers, even if it's just the basics, you're immediately more valuable, which means you are that much closer to getting a job in HVAC and starting your career. And that means you're more likely to get hired too, more likely to get paid better right out of the gate. You're not getting stuck at $15 an hour, you're getting $30 an hour. The course also comes with job search help. That's a big bonus. They teach you how to build your resume, how to optimize your LinkedIn, how to reach out to companies, and how to prepare for interviews. So it's not just technical stuff. It's the whole package. Definitely look at this if you want to get into HVAC. And that's why I think it's such a good option, especially if you're the kind of person who wants a clear, structured path and you don't want to figure everything out on your own. If you're like me and have ADHD, you're gonna click around on different YouTube videos. If you want a clear, structured path, you definitely wanna check out this link. So if you're serious about getting into HVAC fast and you want to show up to interviews actually knowing what you're talking about, I'd say go through the Course Careers program first. And the best part of this is that they actually have a free intro course you can check out, and it will give you a rundown of the job, what the day-to-day looks like, and what the career ladder looks like. You can figure out if this is a good fit for you without putting down any money. I'll leave the link in the description below. If you'd rather just start reaching out companies today and learn everything on the job, that works too. Both paths honestly work. Course Careers just speeds up the process first, and one gives you more confidence going in. Okay, so you've got the knowledge, or you're working on it. You've got your list of 50 companies. You're starting to get interviews. Now here's how you close the deal to actually get a job and make them want to hire you. And this is the best part because you can start getting paid. All right, most people go into the interviews to impress the person interviewing them by talking about themselves. Very pompous, wouldn't you say? That's not necessarily bad, but it's not the best strategy. You gotta think about this. You wanna separate yourself from what the competition is doing so that you can get that job and start providing a legacy for your family. Here's what actually works and what I've seen work. You flip the script. You make the interview about them, the business owner. You ask the owner or the hiring manager, what are their goals for the company? Where do they wanna be in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? What are the biggest challenges they're dealing with right now? Trust me guys, I did this, and that's how I landed my $60,000 a year job in HVAC without any experience. You also ask what would make their life easier. I learned this from running my own business. When I was hiring, I didn't care about the resume. I didn't care about whether they went to college. I just wanted to know if they were gonna help us with our goals. If someone came in and asked me, what are you trying to do and how can I help you get there faster? I hired them on the spot. And that's just from personal experience being an old business owner. Because that's rare. Most people are just trying to get a paycheck. This person is trying to be a partner. So here's how you do this in an HVAC interview. After they ask you a few questions, maybe about your work history or your background and why you want to get into HVAC, you say something like this, word for word, I promise this is the sauce. Can I ask you a few questions about the company? What are your biggest goals right now? Where do you want the business to be in the next few years? And what's slowing you down from getting there? That means you're paying attention and you're trying to help them. Now they're going to tell you, maybe they're trying to grow, but they don't have enough guys to take on more jobs. Maybe they're losing customers because their Google reviews are bad. Maybe they're great at install work, but they want to get more into service calls. They're going to tell you what their pain points are, and then you connect the dots. If they say they need more guys to grow, you say, I'm ready to start immediately. And I'm not going to quit after 2 weeks like a lot of apprentices do. You can count on me to show up and take some of that load off of your plate. A business owner keeps having guys quit and you're showing up telling them you're not going to quit in 2 weeks, magic. If they say they need better marketing or customer reviews and you have any skills in that area, you mention it. If you can increase a company's reviews, I promise you, they're gonna look at you like gold. You say, I used to do marketing. I know how to get Google reviews and referrals. I can help with that while I'm learning the technical side. That's another thing. If you can help get referrals, same thing, they're gonna look at you like gold. If you can do that, you'll show that you're someone who sees the business side of things and you're not someone who's just trying to like collect a paycheck. That's the difference between getting hired and getting hired fast at a higher paying rate. And here's the thing, even if you have zero business skills, you can still use this approach. You just say, I'm not here to coast. I want to learn fast, take things off your plate and help you grow this company. Tell me what you need and I'll make it happen. That attitude is worth more than any certification can give you. And let's be honest, a lot of people just aren't wired that way. Most apprentices never think this way. They think small and they think, I just need a job. Or they also think, I'm just gonna do the job you tell me. When you think this way, you're thinking bigger. Your whole attitude is, I'm gonna help this person build their business while I build my career. It's a win-win scenario for both business owner and you. When you position yourself like that, you become irreplaceable, and that's how you get raises, promotions, and shots nobody else gets, meaning you make more money and you can start building up your career. All right, one last thing before you go out there and actually land this apprenticeship. This might be the most important part of this whole video. The biggest mistake I see people make is waiting. They wait until they feel ready. They procrastinate. They wait until they finish a course. They wait until they have more experience, more knowledge, more confidence, more of everything. They make excuses and they just pawn it off. And while they're waiting, other people are getting hired. Here's what I did. I got the offer in January 2025. I didn't wait. I moved to Alabama from Arizona and I started working immediately. I went from making $500 a week to $2,400 on average bi-weekly, and I'm on track to make around $60,000 this year, and I'm in my first year of HVAC. I promise you guys, you do not want to wait until you know everything. I started and I learned on the job. They literally put me in a van and just threw me out there. That's the move. You start now, not next month, not when you finish course careers, not when you feel more prepared, now. And I promise you it's gonna be uncomfortable, but you grow in uncomfortable situations. Even if you're still in the middle of learning, you can start building the list of companies and reaching out. You can start going to interviews, you can start getting feedback. Every conversation you have is practice. Just remember that. You're not gonna fail. Every interview will help you learn what works and what doesn't. You're never gonna feel fully ready. Promise me, I still don't even feel ready to make videos like this. I still don't feel like I know everything, and I'm a year in, but I'm learning every single day, and I'm getting paid to do it. That's the difference. If you wait until you're ready, you're going to be sitting around watching other people build their careers while you're still watching YouTube videos in the same position that you are today. If you want to get out of the cycle today, you must make massive change. The fastest way to learn HVAC is to get hired and do the work. You can read about refrigeration cycles all day, but until you're standing in front of a unit with your boss showing you how it works, it's not going to click. I promise you, I've been there. The hands-on part is where everything comes together, and you can't get to the hands-on part if you just don't have a job or you don't get hired. So stop overthinking it. Make that list of companies today. Start calling tomorrow. If you want to, sign up for Course Careers and do the free course and knock it out in the next month or two. But don't use it as an excuse to put things off. You could be learning and applying at the same time. In fact, that's the best way to do it. You're learning the theory while you're also setting up interviews. By the time you finish the process and the course, you will already have a job lined up, especially if you do it now in this season when we're in like spring to summertime. So every day you wait is a day you're not making 20 to 30 bucks an hour as an apprentice. It's a day you're not building skills. It's a day you're not getting closer to 60, 70, $80,000 a year in income. Time is the most valuable thing you have right now, and you're wasting it if you're just sitting around waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is right now. All right, so let's wrap this up. If you want to land your first HVAC apprenticeship, here's exactly what to do. First, you sell yourself as coachable, not experienced. You show up with the right attitude and prove you're not going to waste their time. Second, you contact 30 to 50 local HVAC companies directly. You don't wait for the job posting. You create your own opportunities by reaching out to companies that aren't even advertising. Third, if you want to speed up the process and walk into interviews with actual knowledge, you go through the Course Careers course. It's $499, 1 to 2 months, and it will teach you everything you need to know to sound like you belong in the industry. That's optional, but it's a huge advantage. Fourth, you nail the interview by asking about their goals, not yours. You position yourself as someone who's going to help them grow their business, not just show up and collect a paycheck. Let's be honest, that's what a lot of people are doing, and you want to stand out from the competition. And fifth, you start immediately. You don't wait, you build momentum, and you keep pushing until you get hired. I'm a year into HVAC. I make around $60,000 a year. I work 7 to 3. I've got time for my wife, I got time for my side hustles, I got time for my hobbies like playing Battlefield. This job gave me freedom, and it can do the same for you, but you have to actually take the first step. If you want to check out the free Course Careers intro, the link is in the description below. If you just want to start reaching out to companies, do that today. Open up Excel, open up Google, and get your list of companies. Either way, stop waiting and start taking action today.